Hi children, today we are going to be making our fact book. It's very exciting. Now I've got lots of books around me and I've got some dinosaurs as well to help us do a bit of learning. And I wanted to start off by having a look at this book. This is called How Tall Was a T-Rex? And this is a fact book. But it's not like your traditional fact book because it's got a huge picture of a T-Rex. It's not got its whole body, it's just got its face, and it's got a question on the top. How tall was a T-Rex? And I think the answer might be in here when you have a look. On the back of the fact book is another picture of a T-Rex, and this is called a blurb. Now, a blurb is a little bit of information about what's going to be inside the fact book. I just wanted to show you another one as well. And it isn't about dinosaurs. This one is about bumblebees. And we've got another question. Why do we need bees? And we know it's a question because there's a question mark at the end. Maybe when you're having a look through a book today, you might spot a question mark. But this book is all about bumblebees, and it's got lots of pictures of different types of bees, and it's got lots of background to it as well. It's got some leaves, and it's got loads of flowers on it because we know that bees love flowers. It's also got a little beehive in there. Now, we're going to have a look at both of those books tomorrow on the inside, but today what we're going to be doing, I'm going to leave that one there, and I'm going to leave that one. Can you just see it if I pop it up there? Very good. We're going to be making our fact book. Now, I've got some paper, and I've got two different sizes of paper because I thought it would be quite nice to just show you two different ways you can make a book. So we're going to do a big one and we're going to do a small one. The other way around though, sorry. So to start with, I'm going to fold my book. Now, I'm going to use this, the smaller one, to do a folded book. So what you do, really simple, you get your card and you fold it in half. Now this is actually quite tricky, and I know that some of you sometimes struggle with this bit. So a really simple trick to make sure that your paper is really carefully folded, because I know that you can do this without any help, sometimes it might be a little bit wonky, is to match the corners up so they're not wonky like that. Can you see? They're not skew width. And you pinch the corners. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. And then you pinch it and you hold it tight in the middle and you drag your finger across and then you fold it. So I have made myself a little book. That's the beginning of my book. There's nothing inside yet, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Another thing that you can do with your paper to make a cool, it might be a leaflet style book, is to actually fold it a different way. And we're going to fold it in three. A bit like when you go to a museum or somewhere and you get a leaflet. So what I'm going to do, and you're going to need a little bit of help if you choose to do it this way, is to fold it so it's all even. And you can fold it like that, fold down your edges. So I've still got the front of my book, and then I've got the back of my book, and when I open it up, I've got some pages on the inside to put my information on. The last way that you could do your book is to use some sellotape or a stapler. Now, you might have to raid Mummy's and Daddy's office. And all you've got to do is put some card or some paper together, and you just staple or sellotape the edges. So when you open it up, it makes a book. And it's really up to you. Have a think about what you want to do to make your book. Now, when you've done that, you're going to either, with this one, I'm going to need to add some pages in. So I'm going to fold these two bits of card in half, same as I did before. And I'm going to pop those on the inside. But if I let them go, they might fall out. So you're going to have to find a way to keep them together for your book. So I've got my book. Now, can anybody remember what I need to do next? Do I need to write in the middle of it? No, that's right. I need to decorate the front. Now, any book needs a title. So we're going to add our title in. And I'm just going to pause there for a minute so that I can find all the right bits. So I've got my pen. Now I am going to write in whiteboard pen, and I know that I normally say you're not allowed to do this, but I'm going to do it so you can see what I'm up to. And I'm going to start. Mummies and daddies, you might need to do a couple of lines to help the children. And actually, I'm going to be super I'm going to put a rainbow shape, because just like this book, I want to write my title in a rainbow shape. You might choose to do it with little lines, but you're going to have to keep it. If you've done a book this size, you're going to have to keep it quite small. If you've done a big book, then you could do some really big writing and colour it in and decorate it. You might even do some bubble writing. My goodness, mummies and daddies will definitely have to help with that. So I'm going to do an arch, and I'll show you in a second what that looks like. So it's really simple. I've just done a rainbow shape, and I'm going to write my title. Now, my book is going to be all about dinosaurs. So all different types of dinosaurs. But if you just want to do one dinosaur, like this book, this is all about just the T-Rex, and this book is about all the different bees. So have a think about what you want your fact book to be about. I'm going to do it about all dinosaurs, and I'm not going to write a question. I'm just going to write dinosaur fact book. So I'm going to do it with beautiful letters, starting with that capital letter. So D, da 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 da. I know so, or. So can you see I've written it in a bit of a loop, and then I'm going to use a finger space, and I'm going to write fact, act, book, it's got that special friend in, so it's k, and then there we go. I've done my title. Now, the other thing you always need on a book is to write your name, because you are the author. You are making this book. So I'm going to write written by Lucy. I know that you always find it funny when I call myself Lucy, so I'm going to write written by Lucy. But you're not going to write that, because I've not written your book. You're going to write your name, and it would be great if you can write your full name. So I'm going to write written by Lucy Bowden. And I'm going to do that quite quickly so that you can see. So written by Lucy Bowden. Can you see? Perfect. Now I've got lots of space to draw my dinosaur. I'm not going to spend time where you watch me draw a dinosaur. I'm going to get on with that now so that you can crack on with your book. The other thing I'd like you to do is, once you've decided what your book is going to be about, I'd like you to just write one sentence or maybe two about your book. So you might write, this book is about a T-Rex, or this book is about dinosaurs. Okay? And you might add another picture of your dinosaurs on there. And that's what we would like you to do today. We would like you to make your book ready for tomorrow when we write some facts inside. Can't wait to see them. Bye.
Hi, reception. Now, I'm going to talk to you about maths for today. Now, we have been learning about numbers again this week, haven't we? We did number 6 on Monday with 6 dinner Sid. Yesterday we looked at number 7, and you made some beautiful rainbows. Now today we're going to talk a little bit about number 8, but we're mostly going to talk about using a tens frame to represent those different numbers that we have been practicing. So, you have all used tens frames lots and lots in school. Sometimes we use them on the board, sometimes you use a little printed one like this, or we've got big wooden ones in school, but they've all got how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are tens frames, and they are something that we use to represent, to show different numbers, aren't they? Now, today we're going to put 8 things in our tens frame. We're going to represent the number 8. Can you show me 8 fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fabulous. So, we're going to put 8 dinosaurs into our tens frame to show number 8. Can you practice your careful counting with me as I move them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is my tens frame full? Is it full? No, it's not, is it? I've got some spaces. Why isn't it full? What do you think? It is because 8 is a smaller number than 10, isn't it? It is less than 10. So we've got 8 dinosaurs in our tens frame. You might show your grown-ups how to represent 6, 7 and 8 in your tens frame. I'm going to have a little bit of a challenge now, because if I know there's some spaces, I think I'd quite like to see it full up. What do you think? So I might use some of these dinosaurs. Can you count with me how many more than 8 it takes to get to 10? 8. Oh dear, don't want to draw on him, do I? Let's rub that out. 8, 9, 10. Using those counting on skills as well for this job. So now I know that's 10. I don't need to count them again, because I know that when my tens frame is full, I have got 10. So how many of the brown dinosaurs did I have? Can you remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now my challenge is going to be to record what I've just found out. So I had number 8. So down here I'm going to write 8. And I wanted to see how many more I would need to fill my tens frame up. So how many more than 8 to get to 10? So how many of the other dinosaurs have I got? I've got 2. So 8 and 2. And how many dinosaurs altogether? How many in my tens frame? 10. How do I write number 10? Down in a line for number 1 and all the way round to make number 10. Now, have a little think. How could I write these numbers in a number sentence to show what I have done to find that number bond to 10? I had 8. Did I take away 2? No, I added 2. And 8 add 2 equals 10. So that's what I'd like you to have a go at today. Exploring a tens frame. You might draw one in your book. Your grown-ups might be able to print one out for you. You might use lots of sticks and make one on your carpet. I sometimes like to use masking tape on my carpet and make one, but you might not be able to do that because sometimes it gets a bit stuck on the floor and it makes a big mess. However you choose to do your tens frame. So I'd like you to show number 6, number 7 and number 8 in your tens frame, and then challenge yourself to see if you can add some more in to make 10, and have a go at writing your number sentences. Okay, this is a very exciting job and I cannot wait to see how good you are at finding what different numbers add together to make 10. Okay, we'll see you later. I'm going to read to you this story that is called The Dinosaur Who Lost His Roar. Deep inside the forest lived a dinosaur named Sid. I think this is Sid, look. He always got in trouble for the noisy things he did. Spike was picking berries and Sid crept up like a cat. What do you think he's going to do? He let out such a mighty roar that Spike got covered. Splats. That wasn't funny, Sid, growled Spike. The juice went in my eyes. Enjoy your breakfast, Sid replied. Who else can I surprise? Ross was standing by the pool to see what he could catch when Sid let out a mighty roar, and poor Ross went stumbling with a splash. I hope you liked your swim, Ross. You dry out in the end. That wasn't funny, Ross replied. I thought you were my friend. Sid saw Ellie hunting eggs, so he sneaked behind her back. He let out such a mighty roar that the eggs went flying. Crack! An excellent surprise, laughed Sid. You just can't beat my roar. But when he went to bed that night, his throat felt rough and sore. The next day, Sid saw Spike again and went to play his joke. But when he tried to give a roar, what came out was a croak. Ha! Sid, you've lost your roar. You can't scare me anymore. Ross was balanced on a rock and Sid went to scare him off. But when he tried to give a roar, what came out was a cough. Ha! Sid, you've lost your roar. You can't scare me anymore. Sid tiptoed up to Ellie, but struggle though he might, no roar would come, just a rasp. His throat felt oh so tight. Ha! Sid, you've lost your roar. You can't scare me anymore. Sid spent a whole week getting well with honey and sweet tea. Oh, I wish I hadn't played those tricks. Now the joke's on me. Soon, Sid felt fit to see his friends. I'll show them I'm not mean. But when he reached the berry bush, Spike could not be seen. Ross was missing from the pool. Sid sensed that things weren't right. He spotted scary footprints and they gave him quite a fright. Sid was getting worried. What would he come to next? Then came a shock behind a rock. Tyrannosaurus Rex! Sid hoped he had his voice back, but how could he be sure? He took the most enormous breath and gave a mighty roar. The T-Rex headed for the hills and Sid's pals were safe once more. 3 cheers for Sid the hero. You're the greatest dinosaur. And what became of bad T-Rex? Well, he was seen no more. He just kept right on running